enjoy your life. I feel like Maui and island life kind of represents this thing that is What's up, guys? It is your girl Hizzle here, located in Michigan. I want to thank you guys so much for being patient with me between moving and going to school and trying to find a job and getting settled in. It's been really hard to find time to make videos also while surfing, because you gotta surf. So this video has definitely been a long time coming, and I just wanted to express my gratitude for your patience for those of you who requested it. If you are not aware, this video is requested from a Instagram poll that I ran on my Instagram page. So if you're not following me on there, if you like the Instagrams, check me out. If not, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. This is a requested video from my viewers, The Truth About Island Life. It's a video that I've been wanting to make myself, so I'm really happy that you guys were interested in that as well. If you're not already, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy a good time, this is where it's at. So if you're new here, what's up? My name is Holly. I like to make videos about surfing, everything surfing. So if you enjoy surfing, if you like to surf yourself, or you just like to watch it, you're in the right place, my friends. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So when people think of an island or an island like Maui, I feel like there's kind of this island life vibe that comes into their heads, and while that's true in a lot of aspects, this video, my intention behind it is to kind of shed light on some of the the other side of the coin, the other part that most people don't talk about, and kind of just make it more relatable to real life, because that's what people who move there do, is they have to have like a real life. And so I just hope that this kind of bridges the gap between dreams and reality for those who are interested. So just before we get into everything, a bit of a backstory. I mentioned it earlier, but basically I moved to Maui in 2018 and just moved back to Michigan for reals in 2021. I moved there to go to school, and I ended up going to school for sustainability. I'm still in school for sustainability, but that was kind of my driving force, essentially, of why I moved there. I've lived in several different parts of the island of Maui, including Kihei, Paia, Haiku, and Kuau. So mostly North Shore and South Shore. I've never lived on the west side. That's my little backstory. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys that is one of the more controversial things is the whole racism thing. So yes, racism was something that I experienced there from time to time. It wasn't, extremely common, but it happened enough to the fact where I started to realize that it was racism. And it has a lot to do with the history, and as far as like the current climate, at least in my opinion, the vibe I kind of get is that there's a lot of tension, and there's been growing tension between locals and people who just come there and move there. And as best as I can really understand or try to understand some of the frustrations that locals and Native Hawaiians would be feeling towards people just coming here. There's a huge issue with really rich people coming to Hawaii and buying land and building property, and like natives and local people who have been living there having to move to the mainland and leave because they can't afford the price of housing anymore, because the market is catered to wealthy white people, essentially. So, and there's other problems too, but it's a thing that you from time to time may have to deal with. And I guess maybe even a better word than you'd have to deal with racism, because while I think that is true to an extent, I think a better, more day-to-day word that you could have to deal with is like tension. All you can do is try to be respectful and know your place, and just like respect that is what I've tried to do. The second thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the whole spirituality stuff. So a lot of people that move there or feel like they tend to be very spiritual people. Now, is there anything wrong with spiritual people? No, not in my opinion. But in my experience, living with such a mass flux of spiritual people, and also like to branch off of that, just island time, just people who are going with the flow, essentially. It can be hard to grasp onto, find reality, make plans, have a commitment, because everything, island time is a real thing. And you can really get like lost in the vortex of time there, because time, that's a huge thing. I'll just side note, time is weird there. Time is very weird. I don't know how else to describe it besides that. It's like, it goes, and I know everyone says time is weird, but like, I'm telling you, time is really weird there. Very weird. Yeah, so going back to the whole spiritual thing, it was kind of, it could be kind of difficult, and it was kind of difficult in my experience to navigate reality with other people who have such shifting, fluid realities. And that could be true anywhere you go, but just because I feel like Hawaii specifically draws a specific kind of crowd, just building a community can be kind of difficult if you can't really ground down with all the people around you. I'm not saying that's all the people by any means. There's lots of different kinds of people there, but it was something that I encountered enough in my day-to-day that I was like, okay, I gotta talk about this. So the third thing, and kind of branches off of that I wanted to talk about with you guys, is the whole take on reality there. So essentially you're living on a tropical paradise, island. You're living where lots and lots of people vacation. The ratio of resident versus tourist, depending on the time of year, but especially since COVID, like with more traveling happening post whatever timeline of COVID you want to give, a lot of tourists, like more tourists than the island can handle and manage efficiently. But going back into it, living in a dream place where it's like a people's dream world. They go there to vacation, they go there to honeymoon, they go there to get married, they go there to like live in a dream and essentially like escape from their lives. People move there to like escape from their lives. So you got a lot of escapism going on. And like living in that, around that mindset can be kind of hard to grasp again onto reality. Like even just as something as simple as walking down the street, the vibe is like it's new and exciting to everyone, and like everyone is maybe you might be walking around people who are not, and none of them are going to be there in a week, but you will be. And it's weird to try to create a reality and live in reality when everyone around you, or a lot of people around you in your day-to-day life, are not doing that. It's not the reality. It can just be kind of difficult to like ground down, if that makes sense. And maybe that doesn't sound like a huge problem, but if you live in somewhere long enough and you can't feel like you can like really put your feet down, it's gonna get to you. At least it got to me. And so that was another thing that I experienced. So the next thing is that it is a very transient place. So like I said, you have a lot of people who come and go. So it can be hard to establish a grounded community there. You know, I do know a lot of people who have found community there and that works for them, and that's great, but for me personally, it was definitely hard to find a relationship that wouldn't leave. Lots of great people there though. So, you know, like, I don't know, it attracts really special, amazing people, but people are gotta go do stuff, you know, they're not just sticking around all the time. So that's something to be aware of as well. That's just the way it is. So yeah. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about that I feel like I definitely get the most remarks about it, you know, like never being winter and you get to escape winter and all this stuff. And here's my personal testimony with that. The first year that I was there and I didn't experience winter, I was like, sweet, yes, I'm tan all year. I can go to the beach whenever I want. No snow pants, no gloves, no nothing. Awesome. This is great. I've been living in Michigan for the past 20 years of my life, and this is awesome. So that was my first winter, and then the other 2 winters were actually really challenging for me. Yeah, the second 2 winters, I started to notice that my body actually craved the seasons. Like, it craved change, it craved a variance in weather. Because, I mean, there are like 2 seasons there, you could say, like winter and summer. And if you go through enough rotations, you will notice, like, you will be able to tell it's like a spring and a slight change in temperature, and just other things. But mainly there's 2 seasons, and coming from 4 seasons, after the first year and the initial like, woohoo, no winter, that was really hard for me to adjust to. My body and me, I guess, would want to kind of go with the seasons, but the seasons never really changed that much there. And I don't know, for me personally, I have realized and have come to learn that I really enjoy the seasons because it gives me more room to be, if that makes sense to anyone. I relate a lot to the seasons, and I think that the seasons are beautiful metaphors for life, and not having them there was just kind of hard. Yeah, so for all those people who are trying to escape winter, I don't know, some people it really works out for them, but you might be that person who finds out that you actually, in a weird way, miss the change. Not to say you miss, you know, that mid-February dead end of winter, but that's only a fraction of it, man. So that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. That's all I have to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that this video, my hope was to convey through this video is just to enjoy your life. I feel like Maui and island life kind of represents this thing that is, you know, out of people's reach, and they only hope to obtain it one day, and, you know, it's just this dream, and their life, it's this dream, and then there's their life, their reality. And, you know, it's not wrong to have goals. If you want to move there and you really feel like it's right for you, then, you know, shoot, go for it. I did. But if you think, I just don't want you to think that it's this. Okay, here's what I really don't want. I just don't want people to not love their own life. Like, your life is awesome. Your life is unique and special in its own way. Your place that you live has unique, special things that, I mean, every place is special. And I just really want to, like, push forward that message and just encouragement for you to enjoy your life where you are. And know that there are pros and cons to every beautiful thing, everything in life. Like, nothing is as what it seems. Nothing is always sunshine and rainbows. And even if someone tries to convey that on social media, just know that, you know, that ain't reality, man. and living in reality is nice. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, give a video a like. If you have lived on an island or you're thinking about moving, feel free to leave me a comment and we can have a conversation about it. And yeah, thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.